TPS was temporary. It was never meant to be permanent status.
You either self-deport, take the $2,600 and go back to Haiti, or you try to hide out and be in hope that you don't get caught. But if you get caught, you have no chance of getting back into the country.
I cannot deport myself back to Haiti, not because that I don't love my country, but it's impossible. The level of violence, the level of criminality that Haiti is suffering right now, it won't help me.
But if we have to arrest you and deport you, that option of coming back in this country is off the table.
This is the time for all of us to raise our voices and to say this country is also our country, is also the country of our immigrants, because we are the one who built it.
The United States is even generous while deporting people. $2,600, that's 6 months of free rent in Haiti. $2,600 that they did not work for.
Here's the thing. When we say temporary, we mean temporary.
Haitians are being reminded the meaning of temporary. None of them truly believed it while living in the US under TPS. Because they have been living in the US for a long time, they forgot the meaning of temporary and assumed that their status was permanent. Now the US government has ended their TPS. They are being told to go back home, being offered $2,600 for those who are willing to self-deport. But many Haitians, they are afraid. They don't know what is waiting for them in Haiti. They are all begging the US government to change their plan of revoking their TPS. Let's hear from these people. I will come back at the end. This video is for educational purpose.
TPS for certain individuals under the court ruling, they no longer have status. TPS was temporary. It was never meant to be permanent status. You had an opportunity while you were here to possibly try to change your status. Now that the court ruling has went out, you no longer have that option. You have to go back to a country that either take you or back to the country you came from. And if you deport yourself, which we will give you $2,600 plus a plane ticket to go home, you had the opportunity at that point to fill out it legally for a visa or another way to come back in this country, but you have to come in through our immigration systems and follow our laws, not illegally. But if we have to arrest you and deport you, that option of coming back in this country is off the table. So we would encourage everybody that fell underneath TPS, that is no longer temporary protected status for you, your time has expired. Go to our website, sign up for self-deportation. We'll help you get to the country that you came from, or get you to the country that are willing to accept you. Fill out the paperwork, and maybe you can come back and participate in the American dream.
You spoke about Mike Lawler. That's his big cause. He's got a lot of Haitians who live in the Hudson Valley. Have you spoken to him about this? And it's big for the healthcare community here in New York too.
Mike and I have spoken almost daily. In fact, I've already talked to him today about this. He's trying to figure out the path forward. As I told him, he needs to encourage all the Haitians that are still underneath TPS status, or was underneath TPS status, to self-deport so they can have the opportunity to come back. So we're trying to work out, possibly even attach somebody with his office to help process the self-deportation. And then once they get back into the country they're going to, either host country or the country that they originated from, to fill out that paper. But you have to come in through our immigration systems and follow our laws, not illegally. But if we have to arrest you and deport you, that option of coming back in this country is off the table.
The United States is even generous while deporting people. $2,600, that's 6 months of free rent in Haiti. $2,600 that they did not work for. They get free stuff coming and they get free stuff leaving. And not to mention, over 29% of TPS holders own homes. So before the bank come through and take those homes from y'all can also sell your homes, and that's additional money. But anyways, this is the website for self-deportation, the CBP home. And you can also download the app. But if you don't take advantage of this, the $2,600 and a free plane trip to your place of origins, you don't have a possibility. There's no chances of you coming back. Like he stated, you could apply for a visa in the future. But if you don't take advantage of this, they will come and find you. And they will find you because TPS, ex-TPS holders, temporary, They're different than undocumented immigrants that enter this country illegally. They don't have no records of them, whereas they have records. They know where to find these TPS holders, these ex-TPS holders. So they know where to find you, and they will deport you. But once again, that's the website. Take advantage.
So yeah, this is pretty serious. If you're in that situation, if you were here because of TPS or on TPS, you're really kind of stuck with this tough decision. You either self-deport, take the $2,600, which I mean, honestly, that's not going to get you very far. It's not going to get, it's not very much money, but at least they're offering something. But you either self-deport and leave the life that you know behind here in America and go back to Haiti or Syria, or you try to hide out and be in hope that you don't get caught. But if you get caught, you have no chance of getting back into the country. At least if you self-deport, you'll have the opportunity to come, to do the paperwork, get your shit straight, and then possibly come back to the United States. But if you try to hide and then you get caught, that's it. It's pretty much a done deal. I have a strange feeling that there's going to be quite a few people who are going to be on the run because they probably don't know what the hell they're going to do in their country of origin, whether if that's Haiti or Syria. A lot of them may have never even been there since childhood. Some of them came here when they were very young, early childhood. So they probably would have no idea how to make a life, unless you got some serious savings stacked up and that you can add with that 2,600 to try to make a life down there in your home country. Trying to self-deport, but you could try to run, but if you get caught, like you said, you get deported and they got to force you out of here, you kind of fucked.
This is the time for all of us to raise our voices and to say this country is also our country, is also the country of our immigrants, because we are the one who built it.
Here's the thing. When we say temporary, we mean temporary. Okay? Temporary. This is what temporary means. Not permanent. It's not guaranteed. It's temporary. Here's the thing, okay? I understand Haitians' frustration. I really do. They have every right to be frustrated because our government did a lot to that country. A lot. Honestly. In fact, damn near everybody that's on the TPS register, it's because of what these people, our government, not the current administration, but the administrations before, did to their country. So it really was kind of like tit for tat. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. And you helped build. But to say that you built it, that's a damn lie. But this is the thing that I be wanting to ask immigrants who are here on TPS to get upset when it's time for that shit to expire. What were you doing when you were here? Because you could have easily stacked up your bread and sent that shit back like a lot of people I've seen from African countries do. They usually be sending their money back home, building up shit, so that way they can retire and go back home and they got a place to be. Not only that, this is a really serious question, and I'm not even being facetious about what I'm about to say. Y'all got that voodoo shit on lock. On lock. A lot of these other countries, y'all do a whole lot of that African spirituality shit, that voodoo, that Santeria, and you're using witchcraft, basically. It's witchcraft. So much so that y'all didn't even came over here and combined it with our shit, which is hoodoo. Hoodoo is not witchcraft. But a lot of y'all combine the two and kind of get it mixed and screwed. At the end of the day, if you got all of this expertise in this practice, why haven't y'all came together? The ones that do it, because I know everybody don't do it. The ones that do it, why haven't y'all come together to get the people that's fucking y'all country up the hell up out of there? Why y'all ain't put y'all two and two together and took care of that shit over there? Instead of using it on just everyday people who may do something that you may not like, whether it's the president, whether it's somebody that broke your heart. Well, unfortunately, you can't get mad at nobody but yourself. Because you should have prepared for you should have prepared. Don't get mad at us. Really, truth be told, probably should have got along with us. Because we would have told you right then and there, this is what you need to do, X, Y, and Z. So those that got to go back, don't be mad at us. Don't call us out and say that we didn't help y'all or we didn't stand up for y'all, because that at the same time, use that practice that y'all hold so near and dear to y'all hearts to get those people who are messing your country up the hell up out of there. Use it and put that shit where it needs to be. Because we can't help you. We can't. We're sorry. We can't. Time is up. Now, America, y'all make sure that y'all hold that same standard to the Ukrainians when it's time for them to go in October. Because I know that the money we've been sending over there been taking good care of their country. I know it has. They got a whole ski resort and everything. So it's temporary for a reason. That's all I got to say about that.
I want to address all the TPS people, all the people who are here without any paperwork. And I'm coming at this from a totally different angle. Yes, I am a Black American, okay? But I need you to listen up. I need you to go home. And this is why I need you to go home. There are states that have already put in place laws where being homeless or being a vagrant is illegal. We already know staying past your date is now illegal. We already know that your employment, your driver's license, all of those things you will no longer have, right? It is set up for you all to be the new. Yes, that's what it's called when they put you in prison. It's even going to be even worse for the people who do not have any documents at all. If you have learned anything about history, and I'm not talking about the whitewashed history that was taught to you in school if you've been here for a while. I'm talking about you actually did your own research and you dug deep. You would know that Black people, Black Americans, from slavery time onward, have been part of the cruelest medical experiments. The cruelest. There are experiments that are even going on in prisons today. Okay? So if you don't even have a document, you don't even have anybody to check on you, think about how easily it is for them to disappear you. For those of you who are planning on just waiting it out to the midterms, it's not going to get better for you. I'm letting you know now. It is not going to get better. It's going to get a lot worse. So if you can make your way out of the United States into a different country, do that now. Do it now. You all are going to be the new. They're going to fill those prisons. And some of y'all are going to be test experiments. Yeah. So, this is the warning.
Now that the Supreme Court has ruled with the Department of Homeland Security and has given them the green light in terminating temporary protected status, there are several open lawsuits that have been going on throughout the United States. And Department of Homeland Security has determined that these lower courts have a grace period to go ahead and wrap up their litigation so that they cannot interfere with the termination of TPS, which means that TPS recipients from the following countries of Somalia, Haiti, Syria, Burma, Yemen, Ethiopia, and South Sudan all have until July 10th, 2026 for valid work authorization. Means that is it. Past that day, July 10th, 2026, there will be no more protections for people from these countries. They will not have lawful work authorization either, and they are either going to be placed into removal proceedings, either have a removal order executed if they are detained, or they leave on their own without going through the removal proceedings process.
I got a question for all of the Haitians and Syrians. Why did you wait 15 years Temporary means temporary. You waited 15 years, you ain't get no paperwork. You ain't try to get legal. You ain't try to get permanent residence. You ain't tried to become a citizen. You ain't get no green card. Temporary means temporary. To all my Haitians and Syrians, I am glad that they're ending TPS because it was temporary. It was never permanent.
I cannot deport myself back to Haiti, not because that I don't love my country, but it's impossible. The level of violence, the level of criminality that Haiti is suffering right now, it won't help me. I won't be able to survive there.
This woman asked us not to show her face nor say her name. She's one of 350,000 Haitians in this country who face being undocumented as soon as next week.
The immigration system in the United States, it's broken. It's not easy. This is the reason that I'm still in the situation right now.
While immigration attorneys wait on more guidance, the understanding is protections will end on July 1st, and on July 2nd, work permits will expire, and so will driver's licenses. Vanessa Joseph is an immigration attorney and the city clerk for North Miami, which has the largest concentration of Haitians outside of Haiti.
We're not talking about anything theoretical. We're talking about people's actual lives. And when it's someone that you know, someone you know very well, someone that you care deeply for, it hurts even more.
Activists say Haitians will not be defeated. They need to make preparations as the fight continues.
What I'm saying to them is there are steps you need to take. You need to protect your families. You need to protect your assets. You need to identify people who will take care of your children if the needs exist. But you also need to fight for yourselves.
We have to fight. It's the only thing that we can do, and that's how we've gotten everything else that we've gotten. So how do we stop fighting now?
While everybody's talking about Love Island, Kenzie, The Villa, Streamers University, Woo Lady versus the Taylor Girls, there has been an extreme decision that came out of the Supreme Court today. The temporary protection system that was created in 1990 to basically allow any citizen from another country who is undergoing harsh climates or conditions that makes it inhabitable would be able to legally reside here, get work permits, and have resources has completely been gutted by the Supreme Court. This is a program that we know had been altered or reimagined in, I think, 2020 or 2021 to help out the Haitian people who were coming here to escape the capital that had been taken over in Haiti, because it's criminally taken over by gangs right now, and many, many people are losing their lives because of that. Many people are unable to live because of that. Hence why this program was created in the United States, hence why it exists. And now, because it was completely gutted, over 100,000 Haitians will not only lose their working permits and lose their citizenship here, but will then be forced to go back to Haiti. So that means there will be an uptick in deportation efforts to get Haitians out of here. And y'all know me, I talk on my page all the time about being a Haitian girl, and I have a lot of family members who are here under this program. So seeing this quite literally aches my heart, breaks my heart, and aches my soul. And then on top of that, I have made so many videos in the past talking about how, because if y'all didn't know, birthright citizenship is also being currently deliberated in the Supreme Court right now, and the decision about it can come out any single day as to whether or not birthright citizenship is still considered constitutional. But I had said that there would be an uptick in deportation efforts and an uptick in deportation injustice if this were to come out in regards to birthright citizenship. But this has now came out with the Haitian temporary protection system and the temporary protection system program in general. So now there will definitely be an uproar of deportation efforts. So we will see a lot of more Haitian people, a lot of more Black people in general being targeted by ICE. This is a factor of Project 2025, and I say it all the time. Y'all don't see a reason to mobilize. Y'all don't see a reason to organize, but I hope this consistent breakdown of our civil rights makes y'all see that. I don't know if it'll take for the 13th, 14th, or 15th Amendment to be eradicated for enough Black people to get angry, but I need my folks to get angrier. I literally have a call to action at the end of every single one of my videos. If you are somebody who wants to mobilize, if you are somebody who wants to organize and you want to do something, you want to be a part of something bigger, my DMs are always open. Please reach out to me and see how we can connect and do something, because I am so tired of seeing the things that are happening and people not putting their money where their mouth is. It's about time that us as a community recognize the problem and be the fix and be the change that we need to see, and confide in each other and confide in our people, because that is the most important right now. Black people are under attack. We are under fucking attack. It doesn't matter what your diaspora is. If you have black skin, you are under attack. And it is time that we as black people end the diaspora wars for good and do what we need to do. Hit me up. I'm so serious.
I have a genuine question, right? I see a lot of Black Americans that are like, yay, excited about the TPS ending, send the Haitians back. My question is why? Why are you guys so adamant about sending them back? What have they done to you guys that you feel like send them back? I did hear some of the takes on TikTok that, you know, a lot of them in Florida voted for Trump. But I need to say, right, the majority of Haitians have family back home, and they would love for their family back home to come to the United States. And what kind of group do you think that falls under? Democrats. So majority of Haitians will not vote for Trump, right? Will not vote Republican because they are looking for, you know, betterness for their family to come here. So if we do have a few Haitians that were born here in America, that's Americanized, okay, that believes in the Republican dream, of course they're gonna vote that way. That's because they have no family back home. They can care less for back home. But I will honestly tell you, the majority of them will vote for whatever fits their family. Whatever works for them is what they will vote for. So we can't crucify a whole country because of 5-10% of them that voted for Trump. Now let's talk about black men when it came to that voting. Let's talk about black men when it comes to Kamala Harris. Where were they at? We willing to throw things at other people, but we can't even sweep our own backyard. Is that what we're doing? So Haitians, go home Haitians, because you voted for Trump, and we try to tell you you voted for Trump. But black men, it's okay, you made a mistake. Next time, just don't vote for Republican. Like, we have to understand sometimes we cannot crucify other people that's looking for a better life. These people, they actually have nothing. They have nothing, right? They have nothing. And why don't they have nothing? America, France, everybody else that, you know, that does what they need to do when it comes to these little countries. Oh, send them back home, send them back home. But these white folks, whenever they're done working, where they go to retire? In Haiti. They go by these nice, pretty neighborhoods and say, oh, I want to retire next to the beach. I want to retire here. I want to retire there. They have lands. They have everything. You know, the only people that doesn't have a problem flying to Haiti right now? White folks. Haiti's on a level 4. But every single day, you see them in Labadie all day long. So can we not, like, do that? Can we change how we are as as people? Because let me tell you something. When you walk into a room, they're black, you're black. Before they can find out your nationality or what country, little island you came from, you're gonna be 6 feet under. And after they be like, oh, this Haitian guy was blah 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 blah. Oh, this black American guy did blah 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 blah. So we need to understand sometimes, why do we hate other people? For no apparent reason. Zero.
First, let me address something directly to Haitians who believe that black Americans are celebrating these deportations. You are wrong. Black American brothers and sisters gain nothing from your deportation. There's no upside for them. In fact, most of them don't even care one way or the other whether you are deported. That's the truth, whether it is comfortable to hear or not. What they are certain of, however, is their own lived experience with you Haitians, and that is what these videos are really talking about. Many of you Haitians have used your immigration status, your accent, your background as a tool to talk down to black Americans. Some of you have used it to discriminate against them, to exclude them from conversations, to make them feel like outsiders in their own country. Some of you switch to speaking your own language specifically when black Americans are around, not to communicate, but to signal separation. Some of you have suggested directly or indirectly, that you are more educated, more articulate, more together than Black Americans. That is what these Black Americans are reminding you of. Every video you are watching of Black Americans commenting on this situation is not a celebration. It is a reminder that you've been disrespectful. A reminder that you have looked down on the very community whose country you came to for refugee. These are not people dancing on the graves of families being torn apart. They are not mocking those who've lost relatives to deportation or families being separated at this very moment. That is not what this is. Anyone framing it that way is missing the point entirely. What this actually is a cautionary tale, a warning about who you choose to disrespect and why. Because of it, Black Americans, the very people who arguably should be the loudest voices advocating on your behalf, watching a marginalized community targeted again by immigration enforcement, are choosing largely to stay quiet. Not out of malice, not out of joy, but because of the accumulated experience many of them have had with Haitian communities treating them as beneath them. So instead of advocacy, what you're getting is a quiet reminder. This is what you did. There's a second question that was raised in the video, and it deserves attention. Why didn't more Haitians living under TPS use their time in America to build a financial cushion for possibility of return? TPS was never citizenship, it was never green card. Its name says exactly what it is, temporarily. But many of y'all Haitians treated as though it was permanent, spending everything you earned in the US rather than putting something aside, rather than investing back home, rather than preparing for the very real possibility that one day the status could be revoked. If the situation were reversed, if Haitians were in the position of watching another immigrant community act this way, the same question would likely be asked. If I had been living under a status explicitly labeled temporarily, I would have made sure to save something, invest something, build something back home, just in case the day came when I was told to leave. TPS holders were never guaranteed permanent, no matter how long the status lasted or how settled people became. This is the deeper lesson buried in all of this. Under TPS, many people who live under temporary status begin to psychologically treat it as permanent. They stop preparing for possibility of return. They build their entire lives, financially, emotionally, on the assumption that temporary is just a word on paper, forever. That in practice it will last forever. That assumption is a mistake. A mistake that many of y'all Haitians have made. This is not about celebrating anyone's deportation. It's not about laughing at family separation or human suffering. It's about two honest points being raised at the same time. One, that disrespect has consequences, even quiet ones. That temporary should always be treated as temporary, no matter how long it lasts, no matter how comfortable it becomes. Both points can be true, and both deserve to be heard, without either one cancelling out the other. Let me all know what you think about these Haitians being deported. The comment section is open for you. Mr. TA, your African brother, signing off. Ciao.